Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the online lecture of Operation Research. And today's topic is Model 4, which is group replacement and individual replacement. And it is a part of the replacement theory chapter. Okay. In previous lecture, we had discussed the fourth model, which is individual and group replacement theory, wherein we discussed a few cases related to replacement decisions, wherein there are certain cases when the component fails suddenly and the cost of that component is very less. We can say it is less expensive, or we can say it is cheap component. And if the cheap component fails early, then it's predicted live, then it would cause a sudden failure. And because of that sudden failure, there are few consequences can be arise in the industries, such that that small component can, if that small component fails, then the entire system may be on shutdown, or it may goes to the failure of the entire system. So it is advisable to take decision in such scenario to have preventive maintenance, so that we can replace that component prior to the failure, so that we can reduce the consequences cost which arises due to the failure of such less expensive components. Because it is like it is less, it is such that wherein we are spending very less amount for the repair and maintenance of that component, rather than wasting of too much time on the repairing as and when it fails. Because at that time, because of shutdown of the entire plan, it goes to the it can cost us from the profit. So it must not be done afterwards, it must be done on prior basis. That is why it is being said that it is advisable to utilize preventive maintenance. Okay. Now, in after that, we had seen that we had started one example, and let us start these example from the beginning, because we started with certain points and we left the example as the time was not there. Let's start with the example. In this example, we have been given the data that here the table is given of the mortality rate of the component, wherein in the first month 10% of the component will fail by the month end. On second month, which means it is cumulative of first and second month, 25% will be failed. On third month 50, on fourth month 80, and on fifth month the number of components which are going to fail is total 100. So this total would always be 100. Now if we wanted to represent the probability, if we wanted to represent the probability for first month, it obviously it would be probability for first month, which is P1, is nothing but 10%, which is 0.1. P2 would be 25 minus 10, because on first month we already replaced 10 bulbs, so that 10 bulbs will not going to fail on the second month. So we must we must subtract first month from the second month. So it is 25 minus 10, which is 15, and 15 divided by 100 to get from percentage to the numbers, it is 0.15. Likewise, P3 would be 0.25, because it is 50 minus 25, it is 0.25. Then P4 would be 80 minus 50, which is 0.3. And P5 would be 100 minus 80, which is 20. So it is 0.2. And if you sum all these total, 0.1, 0.15, 0.25, 0.3, and 0.2, the summation would be 1. And 1 means total 100%, which is the mortality rate at the end of month. So it is 0.2 plus 0.3, which is 0.5, plus 0.25, which is 0.75, plus 0.15 which is 0.9, and plus 0.1 which is total 1, and 1 represents 100. Now in data we had also given that there are 100 bulbs which are in use, and it is so there are 1000 bulbs which are in use, and if we replace as an individual bulb, which is 1 or 5 or 10 bulbs at a time, then it can cost us 10 rupees for the individual cost. Secondly, we had given that if we replace the bulb in a group, which is simultaneously replaced, so every bulb must be replaced on the same time, then it can cost us 2.5 rupees per bulb. Why is it so? Because we are purchasing all the bulbs in a bunch. So you can see the difference of the price. If it is individually, then we can bear a retail cost which is 10 rupees, and if we purchase in bulk, which is wholesale cost, which can cost us a very less amount, and that is 2.5 rupees per bulb. It is proposed to replace all the bulbs at fixed intervals. So based on the probability of failure, we must replace the bulb as and when it fails, as well as we have to replace it at certain intervals, and we have to find out that interval. And what would be the best policy out of these two policies to be adopted? So whether we should go for individual replacement, or whether we should select the group replacement. So based on the further calculations, we will observe that or we will be able to decide which case is to be adopted. Now let's start the calculation. I want you to have pen paper along with you, so that you can start calculating along with me. Just note down this P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5, so that you will be able to put that on the next table which we are about to make, or you can have a screenshot of it. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. First, we will find out the cost of individual replacement. And for that, the equation is such that we must find out first average replacement cost per month, or average replacement cost per cycle. Cycle could be 1 month, it could be in hours, it could be in week, it could be in month, and it could be in years also. So average replacement, here the data is given month by, so average replacement cost per month is equals to number of units in operation, which is 1000, divided by expected life of an item that we have to find out, into multiplication with the cost of individual replacement, which is 10 rupees. So here in this data, we just need to find out the expected life of an item. Now let's calculate the expected life. Now expected life is the summation of xi into function of xi. Now for that, just it is like xi, which is the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, and fifth month. And at the end of first month, probability, P stands for probability, is also the function of month. So at first month, the number of components which are going to fail is 10%. So it is 0.1. For second month, the probability was 25 minus 10, which is 15. And hence it is, that was in percentage. So it is in general realistic number, it is 0.15. So it is 2 into 0.15. On the third month, the probability is 50%. So 50 minus 25, it is 25, and so here it would be 0.25. Likewise, for the next month it was 80, so 80 minus 50, that is 30, so it is 0.3, and 5 into 0.2. Now calculate this and put the value on chat box. Calculate the value and put that on chat box. Yes, Mayank, you are right. I want everyone to calculate it. Don't stay idle, please. Arun, also you are right. Yes, Jigar, Ravi, Harsh, all are the right. And let me display the answer, which is 3.35. I hope that you won't mistake in this location because it is the probability. So while calculating the probability, you must calculate it such that it is first month it is 10 percentage. For second month it is 25. 25 minus 10, so it must be 0.15. For third month it was 50 percentage, so it is 50 minus 25. That is why it is 0.25. For the fourth month, the mortality rate was 80 percentage, so it is 80 minus previous month's 50, so it is 0.3. Likewise, for the last month it was 100 and previous month 80, so 100 minus 80, that is 20, and that is why it is 0.2. So we got that the 3.35 is the average replacement cost for the bulbs per month. Now if we calculate the number of units here, if we put this value, now number of units in operation, it was given in data that 1000 numbers of bulbs are in the operation. So the number of bulbs is 1000, cost of divided by expected life, which we have just find out, that is 3.35, multiplied by cost of an individual replacement. Now the cost of individual replacement has been given in with the data, and it is the 10 rupees per bulb. So put that value 1000 divided by 3.35 into 10. So the final value of the replacement per month would be how much? Can anyone share that data on chat box? Tulas, Jigar, both are right. Abhishek, it is 3.35. That it might be typing mistake. Otherwise, the answer is right. Just put this value, number of units in operation 1000 divided by expected life which we have calculated, that is average expected life is 3.35. It means that at 3.35 month, which is around 40 days time, wherein all the 100% of bulb has been replaced. So that is how that is what the meaning of the average replacement of the or expected life of the item. Now if we put this value in this, what we have got, it is 1000 divided by 3.35 into 10, which is 2985 rupees, which is 2985. Yes, Harsh, you are also right. It is 2985 rupees worth. So half example has been solved within this slide only, and which tells that if we replace the all the bulbs, if we replace the all the bulbs at the end of 3.35 month, then we can bear the cost per month 2985. So 2000, around 3000 rupees, that is what the cost that we are facing every month. So we must decide whether to go for individual or whether to go for group replacement. For that we need to find out the calculation of the group replacement also. That is what the second part or second phase of the example is. Any doubt within this? Otherwise we will move on to the next part, which is the second way of solving the example, and it is the second opinion, like individual or group replacement. So far we had seen that was only individual replacement. Now we will be seeing that is group replacement. If you are having any doubt within this individual replacement policy, please just share it. Otherwise we will move on to the group replacement. Okay. Now let us start with the group replacement. In group replacement, you have to find out the number of components that has to be replaced first. So, and for that, at the bottom, I had given the equation. At the bottom, I just have shared the equation which you can use, wherein, let's say if it is N3, then N3 is equals to N0 P3, because I is 3, N1 P2, 3 minus 2, which is 2, so N1 P2 plus up to N, which is N3, we can say, then it is P1, sorry, N2 P1, because the last term is 1, so the next is 2, so it is N2 and P1. So likewise we have to find out this value, and let me show you one or two calculations so that you will be able to move on further. Calculation of the month wise numbers of failure. So just hit the title on your book and let's start calculating one. So if it is N0, so for N0 is equals to 1000, because it is the first one, then before starting failure we must purchase the component, so that the number of components in the system would always be N0. That is what the number of components in the system. Okay, so we have the N0. Now we have N1. N1 is what? N1 is equals to N0 P1. Since we are lefting at 1, so that is what the last term, it is N0 P1. So it is 1000 into 0.1, which is 100. Okay, likewise if we calculate N2, so N2 is equals to N0 P2 plus N1 P1. It is 1000 into probability for the second month was 15%, and probability for the first month is 1%, sorry, 10%. So it is 160. Likewise, find out N3, N4 and N5 and put that on chat box. Find out N2, N3 and N4. I'm just representing the probability so that you won't need to refer it on the other slides. So these are the probability that you can see on the left hand side upper corner, and find out N3, N4 and N5. Yes, N3 is 281, but Harsh and Dhaval both are wrong, because we might have some mistakes with the calculation. It is N0P3, N1P2 and N2P1. You just keep incrementing with this zero term and decrement with this term so that you will be able to reach the final step. And in the final step wherein the P1 will be there. That is why I have written P1 in this equation. So you won't do mistake with that. Jigar Jala 377.1 for the N4. Let us see that. Yes, exactly. It is the same. 377.1. You are right, Jigar. Then Arun, yes, it can be 378, but we right now we are writing it 377.1. I will let you know the reason why. Yes, Parth, you are also right. Find out N5 and put that on chat box. You must calculate such that you won't do any mistake in the calculation, at least, because the equation that you can see on the screen, so you won't do mistake with the calculation. So be patient, take your time and calculate. Yes, sir, you are right that bulb should be replaced in number of pieces. It should not be integer. But here we are not replacing the bulb. We are just calculating the bulb. We will be finding out the cumulative numbers wherein we will be writing that in integer number, not the decimal. That is why. Bulb cannot be replaced in decimal. That is why. That is right. N5 is 349.86. Let's see that. Yes, it is 349.85. So far we have calculated N0, N1, N2, N3, and N5. If you are any one of you are having any doubt within this calculation, please share it on the chat box. I will wait for a minute so that the others can be with us. Few minds are calculating still, so we will wait for a minute, then we will move on to the next part of the example. Okay, now let's have the next part uh, wherein we have to prepare this table. So just prepare this table. The first column is of group replacement for the durations, and the duration is in the month. So it is first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, because we have given the data in terms of the month, and we are having total 5 month duration. We are having the data with for 5 months duration. So we will write first, second, third, fourth, and fifth month. Second column is for bulb failing during the ith month. So we have to put the previous slide's answer over this. So for first month, the answer was 100. For the second month was 160. Likewise, we will be filling this table, but just you prepare the table that you are seeing on the screen. The third column is for bulb replaced. So here it is cumulative filling of the bulb. So third column means for that. Then we will be putting the value for cost of individual replacement. Okay. So if we replace the bulbs individually, then how much it can cost us? And if we replace the bulb in a group, that is simultaneous replacement, then for that how much we may face. And for that I have just entered the cost so that we don't need to refer the previous slides for the data. 10 rupees per bulb cost for individual replacement, and 2.5 rupees per bulb for group replacement. So I have added in here. Then the next column is the total cost. Total cost is the summation of the individual plus group replacement. Okay. So that is what the meaning of total cost. And the last is average cost per month. So it is the for first month the total cost would be divided by 1. For the second month it must be divided by 2. Likewise we have to fill the table. So first we prepare the table. I'll wait for a minute, then we will be proceeding entering the data in the table. So just prepare the format of the table. We will be filling the data soon. Okay. I think the table has been prepared. Now let us have a look at the previous slide first so that we can fill the table from that. So for first month it is 100, for second month it is 160, then 281, then 377.1, and then 349.85. So likewise put that on the first column: 100, 160, 281, and 377. Likewise fill the table. We are just filling out the table. So it is 160, then 281 for the third month, and 377.1. 281, 377.1, and for the last month it is 349.85. So fill this column first. We will be solving it for along row wise. Okay. Now the second column is for bulb replaced in ith month, and it is cumulative. Here it is month wise, but here it is cumulative. So it is 100 plus previous months, which is 0. So it is total number of bulbs which is being replaced in the first month, in entire or anywhere in the entire first month. So it is 100. Since it is a first month, cumulative would be the month itself. Now for that, since we are having total number of cost is 1000 rupees. Sorry, we are having total number of bulbs within the system, or the bulb which we are using is 1000, and the first month probability was 10%. So 100 bulb is to be replaced, and in order to replace that 100 bulb, we will be sparing only, we must spare individual replacement. So for that 100 into the 10 rupees per bulb, which is 1000 rupees. So here we have to enter this value is because of 100 into 10 rupees, which is 1000 rupees. Okay, and that is why the answer is 1000 rupees. Now, in the beginning of the first month, we are replacing, or we are buying new bulbs of 1000 quantity. So for that we must be charged. We must be in charge 2.5 rupees per bulb, since entire 1000 bulb is being replaced, or it is being buying the new quantity. So that is why for the first month it is 2500. And 2500 why? Because we are buying 1000 new bulbs at the beginning of the first month. So it is 1000 into 2.5, and the summation of this 1000 plus 2500 would be the total cost, which is 3500. And average cost per month, so it is 3500 divided by the number of, or ith month, which is first month. So it is 3500 divided by 1, which is 3500. Now, can anyone help me with the second row? Just unmute your mic and help me filling the second row, so that we all will be able to fill it. And if you start participating, you will be able to solve on your own as the time needed. Hello? Hello? Am I audible to you? I think the voice should be clear now. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. Now, let me repeat. Let me repeat the first column. The first month, since we are calculating it for the first month, then bulb failing during the first month is 100, because total number of bulbs are 1000 and 10% was the probability. 10% was the probability. So 10% of 1000, which is 100. So we will be replacing 100 bulb. And since it is the first month, cumulative would be the first month itself. Cumulative would be the first month itself. So it is 100. Now we since we are replacing 1000 bulb in the beginning of the first month, so it is 2500 for first, and 25. Why? Because it is 1000 which are the new bulbs, and we are buying in the bulk, so that we are facing only 2.5 rupees per bulb cost. So it is 2500 for that. And out of that, within the first month, 100 bulb must be replaced, because in the first month itself the 100 bulbs are failed. So for that we must bear the cost of individual. Why? Because 100 cannot be charged for 2.5, as it is the individual cost. So we must replace it with the considering individual cost. That is why it is 100 into 10. So 100 into 10 would be 1000. So at the end of the total month, how much we are bearing? It is 2500 for the fresh bulb, and 1000 rupees for the replacement of the 10% of the bulb. So at the end of the first month, we are spending 3500 rupees to maintain all the bulbs in proper condition. And average cost per month is 3500 divided by first month divided by 1. So it is 3500. Now for second month, can anyone just unmute your mic and share me the details how to fill the second table? Hello. Yes, the answer is right, Parth. Now let me repeat your answer. Since it is cumulative, so cumulative would be the current month plus previous month's cost. So it is 160 plus 100 is equals to 260. So it is the summation of 100 plus 160, which is 260. Okay. So that is 260. Now here 260 multiplied by 10. So in the second month we are replacing 260 bulb. Okay. Considering previous month 100 and current month's 160. So at the end of second month we have replaced total 260 bulb, out of which the 100 bulb was replaced in first month, and on the second month we must have replaced the 100 bulbs. So it is 260 total in count, and the cost because of 260 is 2600. That cost that we are facing is 2600 in the second month. Now the cost of group replacement, since we are replacing in the very beginning, we are replacing the oldie bulbs at the first month, or we are buying the new bulbs at the beginning of one, because we are having quantity 1000 and we are replacing at a cost of 2.5. So this value will remain same for all the months. So let me copy and paste it so that we won't waste time typing this. So it will remain same for all the month. Now total cost is how much? Total cost would be, it is the 2600 plus 2500 and is equals to 5100. Now here we have to here this 5100 divided by, since it is that for it has been divided for the 2 month cost, so I must divide it by 2. That is why the answer would be 5100 divided by 2. So it is 2550. So this is how you have to calculate for the third month, fourth month and fifth month. Find out for the other months and help me fill the tables by unmuting your mic. What would be the answer for third row? At the end of third month, how much we may face? I need the value of average cost for the third month. Just a moment. Now you can unmute yourself.
Sir,
Yes.
hello.
Yes, I'm listening.
Sir, 541.
541. Yes.
Yes, 260 plus
Yes, yes,
281.
I got it. It is the summation. If we wanted to show the,
Then 5410.
yeah, let me show the calculation. It is 281 plus 160 plus 100, and the answer is 541. Right? Okay. Now next is
5410.
541 into 10. So the multiplication is 5410. That is the, on the third month up till 3 month, we have replaced 541 bulbs, and for that we have spent 5,410 rupees.
Then 7910.
Okay, that is the total cost, and 7910 must be divided by
2. Then 3955.
no, it must be divided by 3 because it is third month.
3955.
Sir, it's 2636.6.
Yes, it is 236
2636.
point 66, right? This value must be divided by 3 since it is the third month. Is that clear, Harsh?
3.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so correct it.
Yes,
Now,
sir. Yes, sir.
who will help me to fill in the next table?
Sir, I am feeling.
Yes.
Sir, 918.1.
918. It could be 919, not 918.1, since this bulb, since it has been, it cannot be 10% fail. So we must replace it entire bulb. So it is 919.
919.
Okay, 919. Then 919.
190.
Right?
1168.
1169.
690.
Ready? 11690, and it must be divided by 4.
4.
Which will give us
2922.5.
22.5. Okay. Now, who will help me next? See, in this case, everyone must sure that if it is 377.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever value, it should not be taken mathematically round off value such that wherein we are calculating if it is 0.5 above, then we will give the next number, and if it is 0.5 below, then we will giving lesser value. But it is not such that here, if it is beyond that range, then we must give the next number. So even though it is 377.1, it must not be considered as 377. It must be considered as 378. Okay. So if any point is having decimal number, then we must consider the next value. Okay. Now what would be the next? Hello.
Sir, 1267.95.
1268.
67.95.
So it is 12.
1268.
Okay. Then
68.
yes. Then 1268.
12680.
Okay.
0.
And
Then 1518. 15180.
ready, 15180 and divided by 5. So how much it would be?
3036.
So it is 3036. So can anyone tell me from the table that at which month if we consider group replacement, at which month it is advisable to replace the bulb, all the bulbs?
Sir, in second month.
In second month. Why? Because the average cost is getting reduced up to second month. From the third month, it kept on increasing. Is that clear? So we must replace this at the end of second month. Is that clear to everyone? The bulb must be replaced. Now, can anyone share me the idea regarding, is it advisable to use individual replacement or it is advisable to use group replacement? Out of these two cases, which one is to be selected?
Group replacement.
Group replacement, obviously. Why? Because the average cost in group replacement month wise is 2550 only, while in case of individual replacement, average cost per month is 2985. So if you wanted to choose out of this, then we must write a line that it is advisable to select group replacement, because in data we have been asked to give statement. So here we have to say what should be the best policy. So to answer this line, we must write that it is advisable to utilize group replacement as per month average cost is 2550 in group replacement, which is lesser than that of the 2985 rupees in the case of individual replacement. So that is what the entire example is about. Any doubt within this? If you have any doubt within this, please share it. Otherwise, we will be move on to the next slide. Okay. Now just note down or just take a screenshot of the second example. In this example, we have been given to find out optimal replacement policy. So the data for that we need to find out same as that of the previous example, wherein in our case it has been given that if we replace it in group, then it costs us 20 rupees. But if we spend individual replacement, then it can cost us 90 rupees per unit. So if you can see, if you purchase something in a bulk, then it can save a lot amount of money rather than purchasing in a retail quantity. Now the total number of system is again 1000 rupees, but here instead of giving the data in terms of months or weeks, here it has been given the data in terms of 200 hours. So it is first slot is of 0 to 200, second is 200 to 400, third is 400 to 600, 600 to 800, and 800 to 1000. Likewise we have been given, and here if you can see, the probability is given. Here the probability is given. So the first is here we not need to differentiate. Why? Because here it is in terms of number. So it is, the first one is P1, second which is 0, second is P2 which is 6%, third is P3, next is P4, and the last is P5. So these are the probability values which we have been given. So just note this down, probability. In previous case, we have been given the data like this. It was a data of percentage failing by month, not the probability. but here in this case we have directly been given the probability, and if you sum this, it will be the unit value. If you count this as a summation, then it will give you a one number. Okay, so just note down up to this probability P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. Likewise, if we calculate, see, you have to solve this example on your own. I am just giving you the overview because we are not having that much time for the today's session. So you have to solve it on your own. Now, average cost will be number of units in operation divided by expected life of an item. So for first month, probability was 0. For second month, it is 0.06. For third month, it is 0.3. So for 0, then 0.06. For third, it is 0.30. For fourth, it is 0.48. And for the last, it was 0.16. So we are calling it a phase. Why? Because it is 0 to 200 hours. So it would not be writing like this. Here we should not writing 200. It must be the first phase, second phase, third phase. So we will be spending 3.74. So that is the expected life of an item. Okay. So that is 3.74, and it is 1000, which is the given quantity, 3.74, which is the time period or expected life of an item, multiplied by the cost of individual replacement. If we see that cost of individual replacement from the previous slide, it is 90 rupees per unit. So multiplied by 90, and if we calculate it, we are getting that value as a 24,064 rupees 0.17 paisa. Now next thing that we have to find out is the cost of group replacement. For that we will first find out the month wise replacement quantity, so or phase wise replacement quantity. So in first 200 hours we are not seeing any failures because for first month probability was 0. So for this case it is N0 is equals to 1000, and same way for the first phase it is N0 into P1, which is 0. So that is why it is 0. For second phase, which is 200 to 400 hours, wherein probability 1 was 0 because in first month no component gets failed, and probability 2 was 6%. So it is 1000 into 0.6 plus 0. So it is 60 quantity in the second phase, which is 200 to 400 hours. Third is N0, P3, N1, P2, N2, P1. Likewise, if you calculate, you can calculate the number of components which are going to fail. Within first month, 0 component gets failed. In the second month, 60 component gets failed. In the third month, 300 component gets failed. In the fourth month, 484 component gets failed. And in the last month, only 196 component gets failed. So we just have to put down that value here: 0, 60, 300, 484 and 196. And we have to do next column, that is cumulative sum of this. So it is 60 plus 0, 60. 60 plus 300 plus 60 plus 0, it is 360. 484 plus 300 plus 60 plus 0, it is 844, and 196 up to 0. So count all these, that would be the last. So cost of individual would be this column into the cost, which is 90 rupees of individual cost. 60 into 90, 5400, 360 into 90, 32400. Likewise calculate this column, and cost of group replacement, which is 1000 quantity and 20 rupees. So it is 20,000, which is common for all because we are buying it beginning of the first 200 hours. Second is total cost. For total cost, it is a summation of both this value. So similarly we can get this total cost, and then after average cost per month. So it is the total cost divided by the cycle. So it is 20,000 divided by first cycle, 25,400 divided by second cycle, so divide by 2, and 52,400 divided by third, likewise the fourth and fifth. So we will be calculating the average cost. And what we have observed that on the second cycle, which is 200 to 400 hours, if we replace all the units in this, then it is advisable, because after that the 120,000, 12,700 rupees average running cost is getting kept on increasing after the second cycle, which is of 200 to 400 hours. So it is advisable to replace after this. So that's it from my side. And if we compare this, let me compare this with the individual cost. The individual replacement cost is 24,000. However, group replacement cost is almost half in the second cycle, which is 12,700. So it is advisable to replace by group replacement. So that's it from my side. If you are having any doubt, put that on chat box. Type your enrollment number, space, name on the chat box to mark out the attendance. Have a nice day. Thank you.